Let's cook and taste Japan with SavvySensei right out of your own home.
Hi everyone, I'm Ryusuke Munokata. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Oyakodon. Okay, let's get started. First, the kitchen tools. You'll need a small bowl and a fork and chopsticks if you have them. About the pan. This is a special Japanese small pan called Oyakonabe. Nabe means pan. We also use it when we make the popular dishes katsudon. Next, the ingredients. Today we'll be cooking for 2, so the ingredients I have here are for 2 servings. 300 grams of chicken thighs, 4 eggs, half an onion, a mitsuba or green onion to garnish, and 300 grams of steamed rice. You will also need 100 milliliters of warashita. When you don't have warashita, you can substitute it with 50 milliliters of water mixed with 50 milliliters of all-purpose suya sauce and powdered dashi. So that's all the ingredients. For serving, we use lidded donburi bowls. We need the lid to properly finish the dish. This time we'll take the skin off. If you prefer to leave the skin on, it's okay too. And also get rid of any sinew. Then cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces and set it aside. Then we go on to cut the onion. Now I'll give you a tip for cutting onions. What people normally do is slice it vertically like this. But cutting in this way brings out the bitterness from the onion. We definitely don't want to do that. So let's cut it into wedges. It's called kushigiri in Japanese. This onion is a little big. So we'll cut these wedges in half. It just depends on the size of the onion you have. Okay, let's set the onion aside. Now we move on to the eggs. Crack 2 eggs into a small size bowl and beat them very lightly. Here's another tip for you. When you make Oyakodon, don't mix the eggs too well. Just beat the eggs lightly with a fork. Afterwards, you should still see patches of egg white and egg yolk. This creates a soft texture and tastes better. Now for reference, I will show you how to beat eggs when you want to make an omelette. In that case, we make sure to beat the eggs really well. Mix the eggs well with the air. Because an omelette looks nicer when it has a plain yellow colour, without patches of egg whites. Now you can clearly see the difference. To summarise, for an omelette, it is better that the eggs are completely mixed. But for an Oyakodon, we just want to break down the yolk and the egg white. Pour 50 milliliters of warishita into an ayako nabe and start to heat it. Add the chicken in soon after so it can season all the way through. It will help to keep the chicken soft and tender. Also, the umami from the chicken will come out into the warishita. Once it starts boiling, reduce the heat to medium. When the chicken begins to turn white, turn it over and simmer it for a few minutes until 80% cooked. Then take the chicken out and put it to the side. Now add the onion into the boiling warishita. Simmer it for about 1 to 2 minutes in order to retain the crispiness of the onion. After 1 to 2 minutes, put the cooked chicken back into the pan. Make sure the onion is not fully cooked. Turn up the heat and bring the sauce to boil. Pour 3/4 the amount of beaten eggs over the chicken in the pan. Reduce the heat to medium-low, then stir the egg in a circle pattern to make sure the egg gets distributed evenly. Wait until the egg is cooked halfway through. If you think there is too much soup, cover it with a lid and allow it to cook off. Almost done. Serve the cooked rice into the donboris. Then back to the pan. Turn off the heat, add the chopped mitsuba. Placing some green coloured garnish in makes it look nice. You can substitute it with green or spring onions. Now it's ready to serve. Let it gently slide off the pan right on top of the warm cooked rice. Quickly pour the remainder of the beaten egg on top, like drawing a circle. Put the lid on right away. Wait for a minute to a minute and a half before you bring it to the guest, so that the egg finishes cooking by utilizing the remaining heat in the donburi. And that's it. It's done. When you open the lid, you can see the egg we poured in last on top has nicely partially cooked. Now I'll show you how to cook with a normal pan instead of oyakonabe. And this time we'll make our own warishita. Mix 50 milliliters of water with 50 milliliters of all-purpose suya sauce and 2 grams of powdered dashi into a small pan and heat. Put the chicken in first, as we did before. The procedure is the same as last time, so let's skip forward to work on the eggs. So, as we did before, pour 3/4 of the eggs into the pan in big circles. When using a normal pan, it should be cooked slower, as its material and structure are different from an oyakonabe. We'll use some foil as a lid to cover the pan so that it can be steamed and cooked quicker. Wait for a few seconds, then take the foil off. Pour the rest of the beaten egg into the pan. Simmer for 10 to 20 seconds. Turn off the heat, then cover the pan with a foil lid again and wait for some seconds to steam. Serve it on rice. Finish with some mitsuba or other green garnish like spring onions.